Hello, good evening. Wherever you're joining from, maybe it's morning in some places, I wouldn't know. Or hi, you're welcome. Hello, everybody. If you are joining on, if you're on already, just let me see your comment. If you are already on the live session, let me see your comment. Tell us what part of Nigeria or what part of Africa you are joining us from. I want to see some comments rolling in now. So I'm sure that you are here already. If you're already here, whether from Facebook or from LinkedIn or Instagram or maybe Twitter, wherever you're joining the session from, can I see you? Can I see you? Can I see you make comments already? It's great to have you here. We're super excited to have you here. Let us know where you're joining from. More than happy to just know where you are and, know who we're talking to as well. Awesome. So it's an excellent evening again. And we are super excited to have you on board today. Trust me, you are in for an amazing time. Yes, I can see Justina. Justina says she's from Lokoja, Kogi State. That's in Nigeria. All right, let's keep the comments coming in. Let's keep the introductions coming in. It would really be great to meet you today. So, ladies, gentlemen, whoever you are, wherever you're joining today's session from, I gladly welcome each and every one of you. My name is Paul Andrew, and I am the community manager at Tech for Dev. We're super excited to have you on the July edition of my Tech Transition series, right? So if you're new, you don't know what we do at Tech for Dev. Tech for Dev is a non-profit organization. What that means is that we are an NGO that is focused on providing digital skilling opportunities for beneficiaries in Africa. So it's great that you are here. If you're from Africa, we are here for you at Tech for Dev. Our goal is to be able to have an Africa that is empowered, so young people, middle-aged people, young adults, teenagers, empowered with sustainable skills, and in this case, digital skills, right? A skill that is relevant and of course is relevant tomorrow. You know already, as I do, that the world is gone digital already, right? So as we look forward to skills that would empower us, that can provide quality skills and services to help boost the economy of Africa. That's what we do at Tech for Them. We provide skilling programs for women, and in some cases, we provide skilling programs for men. You don't want to miss skilling opportunities. Check any of our social media and you have access to them. But this evening, I want you, our audience, to meet one of the beneficiaries of our program, right, who transitioned successfully into tech. Right. Last month, you met someone who studied law in the university, but today she's a software developer. Today, you'll be meeting another amazing alumni who studied horticulture while in the university, but today she's an amazing product designer. Awesome. And that's the person of Blessing Cleve. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Blessing Cleve with me today. I see some amazing people. I see Paul from Nigeria. That's a namesake. It's good to have you here, Paul. I see Becky Clement from Port Harcourt. That's the oil city. That's the crude oil city. Opayemi from Lagos. Awesome. I see Benita from Lagos as well. And my big boss, Mr. Oluwamuyemi from Lagos, Nigeria as well. Wonderful people, amazing people here. Great, great. So, hi, Blessing. How are you doing today? It's good to meet you, Blessing.
Hi, Paul. Good evening. Please
Oh,
confirm you can hear me.
amazing evening to you. How's been your day? How's Friday coming?
Well, let's say TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. At least we are going to
Uh,
rest from the
awesome. Thank
work.
God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So, we want to meet you, Blessing. You just looking at you right now, you are a lady. I mean, we don't know you, so we'll be going through a couple of questions to try to meeting
Okay.
you, get to know where you're coming from, your background, and just tell us how did you do it. You know, so please confirm for our audience who are joining from Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. What did you study in the university, please?
All right, thank you, Paul. Hi, everyone. My name is Blessing Cliff, like Paul mentioned. So I studied horticulture from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, popularly known as FUNAB.
Yes, so FUNAP to the world. Okay, so
Can
for
you
the
hear me,
benefit of
please?
yes, I can hear you, please. I can hear you. For the benefit of those who may not know what horticulture means, just give us like in 30 seconds. What does when you say horticulture, what should that mean to us? What does horticulture mean?
Okay, so basically, it's an agricultural related field, and like the general misconception is planting of flowers. When you tell somebody I study horticulture, like you plant flowers. Well, that's just an option or an aspect of horticulture. We also do basic crops, studying of crops, post harvesting, how you can store your crops and the likes. So it encompasses both the flower part as well as crops and post harvesting.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Crops, flowers. That's great. That's great. So, I mean, from learning about seeds, about flowers, about maybe the pests that affect them, and all the other wonderful things you must have learned from FUNAB. How did you even find yourself in tech? What led you to wanting to pick up a career in tech? Did you hear me? Blessing.
That's an amazing question. So, can you hear me?
Please go ahead.
Hello, Paul.
Go on,
Please,
go
can
on.
you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. Okay, okay. Thank you. So, basically, as a graduate now, when you are done with schooling, everybody start thinking what next, what next. So that was when I was still not sure of what to do next, whether to practice horticulture or not. Then we all know the story of Nigeria, and after you are done with school you might not get a job. So I started to learning a skill, so I learned fashion design. And then during one of the catch-ups, an old friend just called me and asked me, Blessing, how far? I heard you are done with school. What's the next step? Oh? And then I told him, now, we don't know, we're not safe for sure if I'm going to get a job, whether in the horticulture field or any other field. So I'm learning fashion design. He was like, you're learning fashion design. After your 5 years in school, you want to go and do fashion design. I said, it's just like a backup in case. So he was like, no, 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 no. With the technology, just I want you to do something for me. Just research the trending technology at that time. That was back in 2021, end of 2021. He told me, I want you to research this trending tech and tell me which one do you think you can go for. So I just said, okay. So I did my little I saw some few ones. I saw software development, I saw digital marketing, and then I saw UX UI design. Like that was what we knew it as back then until it became the popular product design. So looking at it, and basically I have a flair for designing. I draw, I paint, although not really as a job. Maybe I just do it for fun. So I felt this will resonate more with me because I have the design creative skill already. So I just decided to go for the UX design path. So I started some self learning, and then in the course of trying to improve, I stumbled on the Women Textiles Fellowship.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's amazing. So the things I pick from your responses are that first thing, you were worried about getting a job. You were worried about getting a job. You were worried about, okay, what do I do next? You were looking at employment situation in the country. And so you decided to pick up, something that sort of interests you. In this case, in your case, it was fashion designing. And you also mentioned that you had a friend who sort of said, why would you just want to learn fashion designing when you can, add technology to what you want to learn. And I think that's really fascinating. I'm happy you have a good friend, or you had a friend or someone in your life who could point you towards technology. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think it's also important that it was really interesting to hear you talk about you started with self-learning when it was UI UX, popularly known at that time, 2020, 2021. And then eventually you found the Women Texters Fellowship. Wonderful. So, hi, Blessing. Are you still here? Hi, Blessing. Hello, Blessing. By the way, while we reconnect with Blessing, I see Clara from Ghana. I see Josephine joining from YouTube. We seem we'll have more participants from LinkedIn, and maybe just one person that I can see from my end here on YouTube. It will be great to see have more persons. Hi, Blessing.
Sorry, Paul. One of those
Oh,
things. Network will not do.
it's okay. It's okay. It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. You're very much welcome. All right. And then we have Chime Rimeze from Lagos. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. Awesome. So you talked about how you are studying horticulture and how you wanted to be able to do something that could, provide you some income. It's fashion designing, you draw, you paint a little bit. But finally, you are here as a product designer. So when you say Women Textiles Fellowship, maybe I understand, but not everybody can relate to that. So Women Textiles Fellowship, what was the name of the organization? Is that a training somewhere, or what's the name of the organization that organized the Women Textiles Fellowship for you? Did you hear that?
Okay, it's one of the programs. Yes, I can hear you, Paul. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello. Okay.
I can hear
So
you. Go
yes, so
on.
the Women Textiles Fellowship is one of the programs that is being organized by the organization called Tech for Dev. That's technology for social development and change. I guess that's the full meaning. So it's one of their programs that they organize majorly for women, ladies and women that wants to
Okay. I think we have a bit of internet glitch. Hi, Blessing. Oh, internet doesn't want us to hear this amazing story. Oh. Hello, Blessing. Okay, I think Blessing is having a temporary difficulty with internet. Hi, Ifedayo from Lagos, you're welcome. Ifedayo is joining us from LinkedIn. It's great. I mean, LinkedIn fans all over here. It's great. It would seem that we have a little bit of internet difficulty from the end of our guests for today. Don't worry, stay put. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch the dial, as we say. In just a moment, I believe she will be back on. So today we are speaking to one of the beneficiaries of Tech for Dev programs, who has successfully transitioned into tech. And a transition is not a transition of I'm learning tech. No, she's gone from learning to eventually finding something to do for herself, putting her skills to use, and of course, improving her economic prosperity. So that's who we are here to talk about today. We're here to meet an amazing lady who studied horticulture in the university, but today she's moved from seats to staring at screens, working on different designs for different organizations. So you are in the right place. Maybe you've been asking yourself, how can I transition? This can be an answer to your question. How do I find myself? This can be an answer to your question. And it seems that I have maybe one or two persons who already know her, because I can see some comments on LinkedIn saying, "Oh, she's a guru, and he's proud of her." I mean, amazing. So, Blessing, we hope that you'll be back here very shortly, so that you can get to share your story with amazing audience who are joining us from different platforms. Some of them from Instagram, some of them from LinkedIn that you can see here, some of them from YouTube, and some others from Facebook, and so of course Twitter as well. So stay put. And if you have your questions, you can start sending them in. We might be able to take, we hope be able to take some. So yes, you can start sending your question in. Yes, we have Isaac from Akwa Ibom. I mean, different parts of Nigeria have been represented here. I have confidence that we have people joining us from different parts of Africa as well. We already saw Clara from Ghana, and that's Western African. I'm sure some of our ladies or fans, or followers from eastern part of Africa, the southern part, central part as well, are joining us from other platforms. I haven't seen a comment coming from Instagram. Where are the Instagram fans? Where are you? Show up. Let's hear from you as well. We want to know that you are there and that you are following the conversation. Again, sincere apologies. In a minute, we would have our guests back on the call. Should I say on the show? Yes, but we'll have her back very shortly. So just pardon us for this, should I call it? It's not an interlude. This brief break, this short break. Say apologies. You know how internet can be sometimes. Even in the best advanced societies, sometimes the internet might just not be friendly, right? Maybe one of these days we'll get to that point where there's no interruption with technology. Anywhere you are, you could just have access to good and quality internet. Okay, so if you have your questions, maybe you've been thinking about transitioning into tech, or you transitioned already and you're not sure where to go, how to find your footing, please go ahead and send in your questions. I think I can take some of the questions, as the community manager of Tech for Dev. And yeah, so why by the time Blessing joins us back, she will be able to take some of the questions that may relate to her directly. So if you have your questions, please send your question in. You are looking forward to transition into tech, or you already transitioned and you're trying to navigate your way. You're looking for some kind of maybe resource support or thereabout. Please, if you have a question, go ahead and send in your question. I'll be more than happy to provide some insight to your questions. And the one that I might not be able to answer, in case, I'll let you know as well. So please feel free to send in your questions. If you are just joining us on today's session on my tech transition series, we are hosting one of our beneficiaries, Blessing Cliff by name. She's been here. But she ran into a little bit of difficulty with the internet, so she'll be back here very shortly. Please stay put, and we'll be more than happy to have you remain on the call. Right, don't worry.
Yeah.
My colleagues are working backstage to get Blessing back here. Since you have Blessing back already, hi Blessing,
Hi, Paul. Please confirm you can hear me.
loud and clear. I can only imagine the stress the internet is giving you already
Honestly,
today.
sorry.
Okay, okay. Are we good to go
Sorry about
now?
that.
Oh no, it's fine. It's
Yes,
fine.
please.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Blessing, tell us. So you already mentioned that the Women Textiles Fellowship is one of the programs, one of the initiatives of the Women of Tech for Dev. Yes, Tech for Dev. That's the organization hosting this session. So salutes for Tech for Dev. So let's come to this. Apart from desire to have an employment that would generate income for you, was there any other thing that motivated you to transition into tech?
I would say yes, because although initially it was basically because I needed to get a skill or something that would fetch me money, but I basically stood one. I would say guidance, because sometimes honestly, when you're into tech, starting off might not be easy. There are a lot of challenges. It differs for everyone. For example, in my
Mm-hmm.
own case, one of my challenges was my parents. They did not really understand tech, so they were like, they were of this expectation that when you are done with school, you should get a job. A job means you are
Mm-hmm.
living home. You wake up every morning, you leave home, you dress with your heels and all, and you are off to
Nine
work
to
and you are
five.
back again. 9 to 5, you get. Then now they are not seeing that, they are only seeing a girl sitting on a PC every time, like basically throughout, let's say 9 to 3 or so, you are on your PC trying to learn one or two things, and then you are still trying to how do I put it? You are still trying to like find something doing. So to them, they are like, no, no, no. Each time, especially my mom, when she comes back and she meets me on the seat, maybe trying to learn something, you are still on this PC. You will not go and look for a job like your mates that are looking for a job and start um, earning money. You are at home. So that was one thing that at a point I was even having doubts that am I sure I'm doing the right thing or I'm taking the right step, that maybe I should just find a job. I even got frustrated that I was ready to accept a 10,000 naira job, that as long as I'm going to be
You don't
using.
mean it.
Yes, now because I looked at it when she came home one day and told me, my friend told me there's this job opening. Better go and do it instead of wasting at home and wasting your time at home. I was like, I thought of it. I slept and looked at, well, I'm not going to be spending money. I'll be using my legs us to the place of, so that means transportation expenses is out. And then if I'm going to take food along. So let's calculate again that food is out of it. So at least let me just fulfill all my righteousness and be leaving home. Let her see me. I'm leaving home, coming back. So that is one of it. Another challenge could be trying to use resources, because honestly, you're going to spend money for data. You have to learn, you have to check YouTube videos, get resources on Google, and it's not possible without you having access to internet or data. So, and at that time I was not working, I don't have money that I can say, okay, I have this money that I can always spend for it. And it was not even in the right sense for me to ask them that, mommy, give me money for data. How will I even say it? Is it mommy that is telling me to go and look for work? I want to ask for data money from. So that.
Okay, amazing, amazing, amazing. So you had the challenge of convincing your parents about this tech. To them, they couldn't connect, they couldn't relate to it. So how, just on that point, how did you convince your parents to support you in that regard? Maybe not 100%, but how were you able to give them some level of conviction? Or did they doubt the possibility of employment in tech up until the time you eventually found a job? How did that experience pan out?
Thank you for that question. You already said it. Like it was until I got like an offer. In short, it's not even until, let me not say until I got an offer. It was until I got my first payment. That was when that was when they were convinced. Because at a
Wow.
point, the internship I did was a remote one, so it was from home.
Hmm.
So when I told them after the training, when we're done with the training and I got the internship, I told them,
Mhm.
Mom, now they've given us job, oh, but I'll not be
Hmm.
going anywhere. It's from home. She was like, where will you see that type of job? How will you see that at home and they'll be paying you money? It's not possible. And even me too, I've not done it before. I've not done a job that they will actually pay you while you're staying at home. So I was still not convinced too. I was like, is it true? If at the end of the month now I did it
You don't pay
and
your
they just
salary.
so you get. So it was until I got that
Amazing.
first payment, and I told her that, see you, they actually
There's
paid us this
evidence, evidence,
evidence.
evidence.
That's
Amazing.
when the
Thank you.
pressure
Thank you
came
for
down.
sharing that blessing. Thank you for sharing that. Benita Daniel is saying she can relate to your story. So, I mean, it's great that you are sharing this insight. And it's also exciting to know that you didn't let the doubt, parents have great influence over children, right? And sometimes when parents don't support you, quote and unquote, then you feel scared. You are not sure. You are like, oh, I'm not sure. Maybe this is the right decision. You want to just give up. But I'm happy you didn't give up. You stayed put. You didn't stay with the 10,000 naira job. I mean, as a graduate, and that's the reality of
Tell
many
you, I
people
can't
actually.
imagine that now.
That's the reality of a lot of people. They are done schooling 4 years in the university, sometimes 5 years in the university. They're not exactly sure of what to do next. You don't know where next to go. And you're asking yourself, after this whole study, what are the skills that I can use to get a job that will pay me some money. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your WTF experience. For those who may not know the meaning of WTF, WTF means the Women Texters Fellowship. So when I say women, guys, don't run away. So the males on the call, please don't run away. Again, Tech for Dev have programs. Tech for Dev has programs that are women centric. Tech for Dev has programs that male and female can participate in. So you are not left out. It's all right. So let's talk about your training experience. Uh, Coming from, hi Blessing, are you see here? I lost your video. Okay, awesome. Coming from a
Yes, yes.
background where you are learning crop science, you are learning entomology, or maybe pest and diseases, you are learning some very big words in biology. You know all of these diseases, organisms, and all of those stuff. You are learning about soil. You are learning about soil nutrients. All of those things. How difficult was it for you to blend into learning product design? Or how easy was it for you? Your microphone is muted. On mute.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I would say it wasn't that hard and it wasn't that easy. Why do I say so? It wasn't that hard in the sense that I just had to like adapt some skills that I had from the horticulture background into product design. So there's something that is called transferable skills. So transferable skills are like abilities or knowledge that you have already that you are trying to like transfer or you are trying to use it in another role, not just a specific role. So, for example, in horticulture, there is one option that we have that is landscape design. So, landscape design is just like something like beauty. While you are building your house, you try to incorporate design into it. So, in the same vein, product design, there is something like design. So, I already have a bit of knowledge of designing. It's just for me to transfer that knowledge or skills and adapt it into product design. There's also another skill of saying when you are trying to do that, you empathize with your clients. You make sure that what you are giving your clients aligns with his or her expectations. So in the same way, there's something we call empathizing in design as well, in UX UI design, trying to build a product or design a product in such a way that it meets users' expectations. So it's just for you to just look within and find a skill that you already have and try to adapt it into that new role that you want to change into. Let me say, for example, someone that is working in a restaurant, let's say a person that worked in a restaurant before as a server or something like that, and then you want to move into a company, let's say a bank role as a customer service. All you just need is some of those skills you have as a restaurant server, maybe communicating well, learning how to communicate with customers while serving in the restaurant. Just adapt that skills into customer service in the bank. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So it's just
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
transferring that into the new one. Then I would say it's not that easy in that because it's a whole different world for me from horticulture, like a non-tech background now, and then moving into a tech background. I had to like basically learn from the scratch, learn some terms, learn some things. How do they do this? How do they do that? So that's how I said it's not that hard and it's not that easy.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for sharing that blessing. Thank you for sharing that. So Unique TV from YouTube is saying she's only hearing women, women, women about tech for them. What about men? So whoever is behind that handle, if you just go to Google and type DFA, that's div as in day, F as in fish, then A as in apple. If you just type DFA 2.0 on Google, it will lead you to one of our programs that you can apply for as a male. So that's what you want to do. So Tech for Them is not only about women. Of course, Women Textiles Fellowship is about women. The name already says women, right? But we have a couple of other amazing programs that men, like yourself, can participate in. Just check it out ASAP, and you'll be amazed at that great opportunity for you to upskill in the digital space. Okay, so let's talk about What was the biggest challenge you faced during your learning, during your training? How long was your training, by the way? How long was the fellowship for you?
Okay, it was a year fellowship. That's
It was a
6 months for
year
the training.
fellowship.
Then yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. That's great. That's great. So what you learned in 1 year is what has given you job. Blessings. Is that what you are saying?
Ah, yes, technically yes.
Ah, wonderful, amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's come back to the training. What was your biggest challenge during the fellowship training, and how did you overcome it?
Okay, and so like I once mentioned, one challenge I had was the resource in terms of data, because the fellowship program is actually a remote one. You learn from the comfort of your home, so that means you need to have access to data. Like the classes, I think in our own time we did classes from 9 to 3. Yeah, 9 to 3 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. So you can imagine how much data you are going to, especially with the way data charges are now. But then it wasn't as expensive as this though. So access to resources like data was one challenge. And then also having what how do I put it now? Aside from the data, then sometimes I remembered one time when the I think she was the community manager at then, Mrs. Joy, or the program manager. I cannot really remember her position. We take for them. So I was unable to attend classes due to I don't have the data. So I think I missed classes for a week. She reached out and asked me, I noticed you did not join the class for what happened. And I had to explain to her that blessing is broke, no money to do data.
So
So
you were broke.
like I was broke, like really, really broke. So I don't have money to do data. That's why I could not join the class. And she said, "Oh wow!" And she assisted me in having
Oh, she
access to data
supported
that
you with.
period.
Oh, that's
Yes,
very
yes.
nice.
So
Joy is a very nice, amazing,
she's a
amazing
very
human
nice,
being.
amazing. Yeah,
Great, a
I
great
don't think she's
colleague.
still working for them
No,
anymore.
she's transitioned. She's transitioned now from Tech for Dev, but very much still in contact. Great human being. So maybe this is a question I should have asked earlier, but just for the benefit of those who are listening from all the platforms, are you currently employed as a product designer? Like, do you have a job, right? As at this moment, do you have a job as a product designer?
Yes, yes. I currently work as a product designer with them, Sterling Bank.
Wow, Sterling, as a product designer, or
Yeah.
are you educating them about flowers, about seeds?
No, I'm educating them about screens and designing screens.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so I mean, you've heard from the horse's mouth, as they say. She's currently employed, and she's not doing anything that has to do with seeds or flowers, but she's talking about screens. I know she doesn't want to say too much so that she doesn't reveal some of the amazing things that she's doing at work. Right. So we'll just go on to the other questions. Yes, somebody saying, "Wow, Sterling Bank." Yes, so yeah, Sterling Bank. Maybe one of these days too. Maybe I'll get a job as a designer in Sterling Bank too. Okay, so during your program, apart
And you're
from Joy, apart from Joy, who reached out to you as a staff of the organization, was there any other support that really helped you to thrive during your training?
yes, the curriculum, our mentor, I'm sorry, our tutor, Mr.
Oh,
Ikenna, our product design,
okay.
because I applied for the product design track during the
Mm-hmm.
fellowship. Yeah, so he was really helpful as well. Those days when we don't really understand some tasks, as someone who did not really have that background, we could easily
Mm-hmm.
approach him and say, "Ah, sir, I don't know what you just explained or what you just taught us," and he would calmly and patiently teach you. I liked the way he taught because he considered different levels of people that were in the program. We had people that already had knowledge of the product design. We had persons like me that was just trying to get into the system. And then we have people that are average. They know it more. They're averagely ahead. So he tried to like level it that everybody could really benefit from the classes. So
The
it made it
class.
very impactful that I was even at the time I was still like, do I still want to continue with this thing? If you reach out to him, he'll tell you just continue, just you can do it. I believe in you, stuff like that.
Yes, so
So that
you
kind of
can
thing,
do it.
kept me not ginger that we can do it, you can do it. And then the class project, so when he gives a project and you don't know it, you could easily reach out to him and say, sir, please, I don't know this. Can you put me through? And
Wonderful,
he do
wonderful.
that.
So you had a lot of support system around you. You had staff of Tech for Dev. You had the facilitator who was there as a support
Sorry, I
system
forgot
as
to
well.
mention our fellow Texters and connecting with
Wonderful,
even Texas from different part of Africa. Although I've not been to that Africa, but virtually I was in different part of Africa. We had Egyptians, we had Ghanaians that we worked together on projects, and
wonderful,
that was really I had to learn
wonderful.
about their culture while we're like interacting during the program and all.
Awesome, awesome. So you had fellows from Egypt, from Ghana, and we have someone listening from Ghana here. You had fellows from different parts of Africa, and I think you just said you learned about their culture. You met people. So if you need to go to Ghana tomorrow, you just need to go to the alumni platform. Say, hi,
Alumni,
baby, I'm coming to
yeah,
Ghana,
just
or I'm
connect
in
with them.
Accra, I'm in Kumasi, or I'm in
Yeah,
Cairo. Amazing, amazing,
yeah.
amazing, amazing. That's great to know. Great to know. So you've made friends through tech, digital skilling. You've made friends outside the borders of Nigeria. That's awesome. Somebody saying "money woman" on LinkedIn. Okay, so the way you blushed already confirmed that indeed you are tech is
Yeah.
taking for you. Okay,
And
that's a nice one. Okay, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. So just looking back, do you regret transitioning into tech? Would you say that tech is making sense for you, both in terms of the value that you bring to the society as a product designer and economically? Or is it that it's neither here nor there? Maybe like doesn't really make a difference. That time you were offered a job of 10K. Is your job paying you like 10K or 20K, or is it way, way, way better?
mm, first off, let me laugh in dollars and pounds. Because that really answers it, because although I'm not yet earning in dollars, but like that's the goal, to start earning in dollars in different currencies. So yes,
Hmm.
for me, tech has been really, really rewarding. In short, tech is the
Wow.
new thing, it's the new oil money. So we just need to move with
Hmm.
the trend.
Hmm.
Just need to move with the trend.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, economically, you don't regret transitioning into tech. Like,
Never.
the pocket is full. The other one, the
Not
Azar is
very
also
full,
full.
not very, it's not as full as, but at least it's self-sufficient.
Oh, wonderful, self-sufficient, wonderful, self-sufficient. Looking at yourself as a woman, in many parts of Africa, sometimes even unintentionally, by people who love you, who genuinely care about you, the assumption can be very unpleasant that okay, a girl child, just go to school, get a job that can pay you peanuts, and then life is okay. But looking at yourself as a product designer working in a financial ecosystem, how does being a designer help your prestige? Do you feel professionally fulfilled? Do you meet designers from different parts of the world? Do you interact with the people of high intellectual capacity in the work ecosystem, or do you just meet random people daily on your job?
Okay, so for me, I would say, although I'm not this type of person that really goes out, but once in a while, like I try to attend a few tech events where I can get to like connect with other designers and other fields like developers and other tech experts in the field. So the one thing that I appreciate about technology is you would always meet with people that would want you to grow, because when you see like when you see
You're Your internet is a little bit
Can
glitchy. Blessing.
you hear
Hi,
me,
Blessing.
please?
Hi, Blessing. Okay, so I lost you for a moment. I'm still not able to. Hi, Blessing. Are you back?
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I
Hello,
can hear
Paul.
you now. I can hear you loud and clear. So you were talking about how tech or digital
Okay.
skills exposes you to networks. Please go ahead and
Yes.
finish.
Ye- yes. So as I was saying, it's always good that when you go for events, like tech events, most especially, is you leverage that opportunity to like connect with other, because sometimes, honestly, sometimes you don't need to really wait to apply to jobs like regular application of sending your CV and the likes. You can get some job or project via somebody refers. I know a designer. I know this person. I've connected with this person, and the person is like, "Oh, we are looking for a designer. We are looking for a developer," and all. So they can always refer you. So when you go out for events, try to network. You don't have to fake it, or the few genuine ones, if it's one or two persons that you know that you can connect with, just connect with that one or two persons. And then there's one thing I would say, that sometimes you should always try to like keep that connection. You don't have to bombard the person's mail or WhatsApp when you're sending message. Once in a while you can just say, "Oh, I'm trying to check up on you," so that the person would like always have you at the back of their mind when there's anything that comes up, that they can easily refer you. So you can try that. Check up on the person. "Hello, I'm just checking up on you," and the likes.
That's
I for
amazing. Um, really great. Yes, I heard you, and that's really amazing. So I'll go to my next question now, and I hope that that will provide some level of clarity. I mean, I'm sure that you were not the only product designer in your cohort of fellowship. What did you do to stand out to eventually secure a job? When you got the job, was it just on a platter of gold? What did you do to stand out in getting your first tech job? Hi, Blessing.
Okay,
Hi,
so
Blessing.
after the training, like after the fellowship, hello Paul, please can you hear me? It's
Go on.
keeping. Hello Paul,
Go on. I can hear you.
what's wrong? Hello Paul, please confirm you can hear
I
me.
can
It's looking like.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you, Blessing. Go
Yes,
on.
please can you hear me?
I can hear you, Blessing. Go on.
O- Okay, yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. So after the fellowship, our CVs. So when you are submitting your CV, I would advise that you try to have a good CV, that when they submit it to the employer, it will make you stand out. Then also have a portfolio. For designers, for example, I think developers too usually have portfolios. So your portfolio, to put good projects that you know you are sure of, that you did well, that you can defend very well, include them in your CV, so that when you are submitting it to employers, it will give you like an edge over others. Because remember, you are not the only one that is applying for that job. There are like thousands that are applying to get that same position that you are trying to apply to. So make sure that you put your best foot forward, a good CV, a good portfolio, so that it will give you an edge when they are trying to select their candidates. Do you get? And then
Awesome.
when you're now in that job, always try to do your best. Because I remembered while we're in the fellowship, the group projects that we have, some persons will not show up. You will not turn up. You'll be like, Shebi is group projects. They will not really know. They will give all of us the same mark. Some people are like, they know what amount of contribution you put in that project. So if you carry that same mentality or sentiment to your workplace, it might not work well, because the supervisor or your employer is like monitoring what contribution each person is making. So if you say they will not really know it's a group project, your supervisor might be watching, and if she is knowing, is looking at what impact you're having in that project. So always try to put your best in a project, whether it is individual project or a group project, so that your supervisor will be able to like stand for you in terms of, okay, please let us recommend this person. This person is very good. Even the person can work alone or can work in a group project. So that's what I would advise.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for that piece of advice, blessing. I'm sure somebody took that to heart and we implement that advice, in pursuing their own career. So my next question to you would be that, looking at where you are now, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
That's an interesting question. In the next 5 years, well, I'm looking to explore a game design, like animations, 3D animations in the game world. So hopefully in the next 5 years, I should be very good at designing games, and then working in good game companies, and then hopefully maybe have a startup company of my own.
Wow. Very big dream, blessing. I wish you all the best. Just one quick question. Apart from your job, like your product design role at Sterling Bank, do you sometimes get to work on other things that draw some small chips into your savings? Okay,
Ah,
the
you sometimes now you understand. You
smile says it all. Yes, I
you just
understand.
manage
Oh. I
it.
understand. I understand. So you think that tech or
What's wrong? Hello, Paul. I can't hear you again. Hello.
oh, my sincere apologies. So the internet decided to leave blessing and decided to move
And
over to my.
transferred it to you.
That's
No
not a good
problem.
one. That's not a good transfer. My, my sincere apologies. My sincere apologies. My sincere apologies. Okay, Ekene is asking about what's product design. I would have loved Blessing to tell you a little bit about product design, but time will fail us to do that. But just as a way of technically answering that question, Blessing. So, what are your current skills now? So, I give you 30 seconds to pitch yourself. What are your current skills? What are you good at? What are your strengths as a designer?
Okay. So as a product designer, it's basically the design of mobile applications, like the regular mobile applications that we see on Play Store, Apple Store, and then website applications. So PS, please, we don't develop, we just do the design, because a lot of persons mix it up. So my own role or as a designer is to design the interface, what you see, like those design how you see the stroke, the type of font that is being used, how to mix the color, what color best work and all. So the functionality is not part of our skills. Is those that have development, that's back end, front end. They are the ones that do that. So, but basically, designing of website applications, mobile applications, and mobile app, the ones you can use both on your system and on a phone. That is what product design entails.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you design apps, you design website, you design the interface of apps
Yes.
and website. That's great. That's great.
Yes.
Maybe when I want to design a app, I'll come to you to employ you to help me
With
with the
your money.
interface. With my money, okay. We'll see
So,
about that. We'll see about that. Awesome. So, Blessing, I mean, it's been a great conversation between us today, and we are practically rounding this off now. But if you were to give like a counsel to somebody out there who is looking forward to pick up a career in tech and seems lost, would you be kind? Would you be willing? Would you say, oh, would you be able to recommend tech for them, or maybe somebody who has transitioned already, took a training somewhere and seems to be lost, doesn't know how to get to the next step? What would be your words for such a person?
okay, so my advice would be, if you are looking to transition into tech, or you've transitioned and you are still confused on what to do, the best platform is Tech for Them, because honestly, I've participated in a few other ones, boot camps, that the curriculum does not stand the Tech for Them. Maybe there are still other ones so that I've not participated in, but based off on the ones me I have experience with now, that's what I'm speaking, please. So Tech for Them, I liked the structuring. Like when we were learning, it was really structured. There's no way you would undergo such training and you will not try and come out well. Then I also like the community support. Like Andrew Paul mentioned about a WhatsApp group. So after we are done, there's this WhatsApp group, alumni community, where you get to like still see different opportunities being posted to you, tips, how to continue to develop ourselves, to grow in whatever career path that you have chosen. So I would surely recommend. In short, I used to tell anybody that, if anybody that would ask me, that I'm a like living testimony of Tech for Them, I flaunt it anywhere, that I'm an alumni of Tech for Them, because I really loved the platform. I really loved how they took us during the training, after the training, and even till now, up till now, we still have that access to lot of opportunities
Okay,
and
I think.
support program. Hello, Paul.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I
Hi, can you
can.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. So yes, I got your comments. I got your response. Thank you very much. So Ikene is asking that you don't code. Ikene is asking, do you code as a designer?
No, 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 no. Basically, as a designer, you don't code. We don't code. If you code, it's just like an added advantage. Maybe someone that wants to learn how to code, but you don't really need to know how to code as a designer.
Hmm. Okay, but there's nothing bad in having an advantage.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
for
If you want
bringing
to,
that.
we have designers that still have basic coding skills. So if you want to, you can
Awesome.
learn it, but it's not a requirement to be a designer.
Awesome. Okay, so if you have questions for Blessing, thank you for listening so far. Please send in your questions. I don't have any question right now. I can't see any question on my end. If you have a question for her, we already answered Ekene. The two questions Ekene asked, Blessing has answered those questions already. So if you have any further questions for Blessing or for Tech for Dev, please go ahead and ask a question. I will be more than happy to answer that within the next 5 minutes. Any question from Instagram, from Facebook, from LinkedIn, any question? My colleagues at backstage, if you find any question that maybe I missed out, please share them with me so that we can provide a response to the question. Thank you. Sending your questions. We've also spoken to Unique TV that you can find DFA 2.0 on the internet, and you can just go ahead and register. So, how do you integrate AI to your product design? Blessing. Suleiman is asking, how do you? I mean, in this world of AI, how are you integrating AI into your job as a designer?
That's a nice question. With the recent development with AI, artificial intelligence, well, for me, I've not really used it like 100%, but the few ways that I've used it in when I'm designing, sometimes we need content, and there's an aspect that is called UX writing. I'm not really a UX writer, but when I need content for my designs, I leverage AI to like help in generating content that I use for the designs. And then when I want to do some few things, there are some things you might want to do that you don't need to do much stress. All you just need is like the basic AI that I've used so far in my own case, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. So I just used it to like ask a few questions to help me generate content. Although there are now if you're a designer, there's this particular software we use, Figma, and they're trying to like incorporate that plugin into that Figma app that we just use the AI in a way. But so far, I'm also looking to explore the field because I noticed that it is becoming a thing now. So I'm looking to explore how I can incorporate AI fully as a designer. I hope that answers the question, please.
Yes, yes, you made a very good response to the question. It's a process, so it doesn't happen in one moment. Okay, someone is asking how can she join Tech for Dev. The way you can join Tech for Dev is to apply for any of our programs. So you follow us on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Follow us on all the four platforms. You can even follow us on TikTok as well, right? And then you would have updates on all program learning opportunity, whether it's the bootcamp, a fellowship, a developers foundry, DFA 2.0, and some of the other amazing skilling programs that we have. So the best way to know how to join and when the opportunity comes is when you follow us on our social media handles. So you're on LinkedIn, just follow us on LinkedIn, and turn the notification on. You won't miss any of those opportunities to learn. Ekene is asking again, do you have natural design skills? I think Blessing already mentioned that earlier, that she draws and paints, even though not something she took really very serious up until the time she started learning product design, making research about UI, UX. Okay, so those are the questions I have
Sorry,
on
Paul,
my
can I come in?
end. And
Hello, Paul, can you hear me?
oh, please go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Okay. In answer to that question, yes, for me, in my own case, I had like natural design skills, like I had the flair for design. But that doesn't mean if you want to become or learn product design, you need to have no, you don't need to have natural drawing skills, or as long as you are creative, because design involves your creativity. So as long as you know you have this creative ability, doesn't necessarily be a drawing or painting thing. No, as long as you know you have this creative ability, you can go into product design. I hope that clears his answer.
That's a very great response. Thank you for sharing that. That your creative ability is what takes you there, right? So even if you know how to draw, you're not being creative with it. It may not take you that very far. Those are the questions that we have so far, and it's been a great time talking to you, Blessing. You are a testimonial of what is possible, what is doable. It's great to hear you talk about, how you are self-sufficient economically, and and you even get other stuffs that come to your table as well, apart from your role at Sterling. It's great to know. We are happy that you are in a better financial place than you were when you started the training. Someone had asked, if you do DFA 2.0, would there be opportunity for internship? I don't think it is. I think what Blessing said is our skills that got her the job. So if you really go through the training, any of our training, and you put in the work, those skills are sufficient enough for you to get an opportunity. Of course, Tech for Them has a couple of job partners. When they have openings, I will share with our alumni. They apply directly without any special treatment. They apply directly. They have to go through the recruitment process and they have to prove their skills. They have to validate the quality of their skills during those recruitment process. Or Blessing, hi Blessing, are you here? Hi Blessing, hi
Hi, Paul.
Blessing,
Please,
can you hear
I
me?
just saw a question on Instagram now. Can you?
Just hold
Yes, I
on,
can hear you, Paul.
just hold
Can you
on,
hear me?
hold on. Yes, I can hear you. Just hold on. Did you go through recruitment process? Did you do
Okay.
interview? Was there like recruitment examination or was it just automatic?
Ah, no, it wasn't automatic. Oh. Like I said, you need a good CV
Ah,
because after the program, we submitted our CVs. So you need to do like submit a good CV, a CV that you know that would help you stand out. Like I said, put your best project, like one you know that you are confident that it's good, very good. While you are in the fellowship, while we're in the fellowship, we did a lot of projects. We did individual projects and then we did group projects. So you need to have a good CV, then your portfolio too. You need a good portfolio of your portfolio is just like compilation of projects that you've done. So you don't need too much, maybe maximum of don't let me say maximum, but minimum of two good projects, standard projects, put it in your CV. Then when we submitted it, we went through the process of interview. We did the exam, we wrote the exam, then we're called and just like normal recruitment process. So that's how it worked. Hi, Paul.
thank you for sharing that additional information. Thank you for that. So you wanted to respond to a question on Instagram. Please go ahead.
Yes. Somebody asked for entry level, how do you think one can get a solid portfolio, knowing fully well that there has not been serious projects? Well, my answer would be you need to find projects for yourself, work on personal projects. You don't need to do a project that is live or something. All they just want to see most times when what recruiters look for is your creative ability, your design, your thought process ahead. Let me use that. Your thought process. How did this person achieve this? For example, in the design world, I might not be able to speak to the other tracks, but in the design world, there's something we call the 5 step. Basically, like it's not constant, but that you must empathize, you must research, design, then prototype and test. So how did you go about these processes in your project while you were working on it? So you don't most times you can just come up with a project idea. Maybe you just notice a challenge in your community and you're like, okay, I think this challenge needs this solution, let me work around this solution. So it doesn't need to be something that is live, just work on that project and then when you work on it, you come up with a good portfolio. You don't need a very or a life project. And even when you join the Tech for Dev fellowship, you work on projects. It's inevitable. You work on projects, individual projects, group projects that you help you to scale and have something tangible to put in your CV or your portfolio rather that you can use to apply to jobs.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much. So if the person who asked that question is still on Instagram, my additional comment would be connect with blessing, and you might just get some blessings. Connect with blessing, and you might just get some blessings. Because it's also good that you interact with people that are ahead of you, people that are within your circle, that are within your space, so you can learn from them. And trust me, there's a lot you can learn from blessing. And if you're an alumni of Tech for Dev, then you don't have problems. There's a lot that you can engage and leverage to be able to have projects to work on portfolio. Thank you, thank you. I see some other fellows who are on the call. I can see Rafiat, who's one of our alumni from the bootcamp program. I can see Dr. Ini, uh, one amazing doctor that ran from medical science to data science. Maybe one of these days we'll be hosting Dr. Ini on one of our sessions. Okay. So can we share your link to connect? So someone is asking if you can share your LinkedIn profile. Her name on LinkedIn is Blessing Cliff, just as you can see it on the screen. I might not be able to share her name with you, right? Some of my colleagues might be able to do that. But her name is Blessing Cliff on LinkedIn. Just connect with her, right, on LinkedIn. So, and in our community, we always provide support. So I'm sure that Blessing will be more than able to provide support in her capacity
Sure,
as a baller
sure.
designer herself.
Sure, I
I'm
will.
begging you I'm begging her on your behalf that she will not charge you because now blessing
I'll
is
not charge much.
foreign currency. So okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are joining the session from, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it's been an amazing time speaking with you today. I've had a great time. I hope you've had a great time as well. So, this will be it for the July edition. In June, you spoke to somebody who transitioned from law to software development. Today, you are speaking to an amazing alumni that transitioned from horticulture to product design. I'm sure you are thinking, who would I be engaging in the month of August? You wait to find out. If you're not following Tech for Dev on any of our social media handles, please do that ASAP so that you don't miss the next amazing opportunities. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story, Blessing. We look forward to you doing amazing things as a designer. And thanks to all our followers who joined the session, wherever you joined in from. We thank you for your time. We hope that you've taken something out of this session, and we look forward to hearing your amazing stories as well. Until next time, stay safe. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.